When Blaise Compaoré was removed in the Burkinabe Revolution, a somewhat transitional government led by Roch Marc Kabore was installed. But Roch Marc Kabore, on the 23rd of January 2022, was overthrown by the military. The military cited the failure of his government to check rising jihadist insurgencies that have caused the displacement of more than 1.5 million Burkinabes. The coup leader was Lieutenant Colonel Paul-Henri Damiba. He led the military back to power after soldiers called for adequate equipment to fight terror groups linked to Al-Qaeda and Islamic State in Burkina Faso. The jihadists, in November 2021, attacked a military base in the north of Burkina Faso, and about 49 soldiers were killed. This provoked the military, and they organized a purge to take their destiny in their hands. When the military came, they suspended the constitution, dissolved the National Assembly, and closed the country's borders after the takeover. By the coup, Burkina Faso joined Mali and Guinea as military states in West Africa. Having acquired power, the military did not go far enough to mobilize resources to check the rising insurgency that has troubled Burkina Faso since 2015. And it was one of the reasons a revolution was launched against Blaise Compaoré. So when Damiba could not check the situation, he was overthrown by a segment of the military, and that was what brought Captain Ibrahim Traore, the 35-year-old president of Burkina Faso. By September this year, Traore must have spent 2 years as the military leader of his country. Poor governance and unprecedented corruption is also at the heart of the present political instability in that country. But I want to ask, do the military have the capacity to check the rising insurgency? These are questions, Traore, we have to answer for us to understand what is going on in Burkina Faso. Meanwhile, since taking over in September 2022, Captain Traore has struggled to contain Islamist militants operating in his country. So some have said this deal with Russian mercenaries is a way of clawing back the gains being made by jihadists who have occupied large part of Burkina Faso and have displaced millions of persons. Captain Traore came to power on the back of a promise to win back territories from the jihadists and to hold democratic elections in July 2024. So nobody's talking about election now. July 2024 is gone. So he has moved from a transitional government to a government, and he's been backed by Russia. Burkina Faso is towing the same line as Mali, and Niger has joined. These are countries suffering under the weight of jihadist insurgencies, like Nigeria. The military in Mali took over in 2020, blaming the democratic government of the time for inaction over militants holding Malian territories and killing thousands of innocent citizens. The military in Mali also blamed France for not doing enough to stem the tide, causing the French government to withdraw its forces from the country after more than a decade of fighting the militants. We talked about that on Monday. To fill the vacuum left by France, Mali had to bring in the Wagner groups from Russia. Both countries have already cut long-standing security ties with France. So what happens next? Taking out France, is it enough? What does Professor Tunde Adeniran think? Is it enough to take out France? Tunde Adeniran is the author of the book Africa's Security Challenges in the 21st Century. If you read his book, you would understand the argument he makes in this interview. So this is a book I'm recommending to you in this class. Africa's Security Challenges in the 21st Century. It's a book that gives you clear explanation of what is going on at the moment in the West African sub-region. Reading books like this opens your mind to the challenges of the time. Professor Tunde Adeniran is a former minister of education in Nigeria.